you mentioned Sergio hitting driver. It's crazy to think the wind means that much, but it does. I was trying to look at the forecast and see if there was an advantage to play early or late on either Thursday or Friday. And it looks like there might be a little lull in the middle of the day tomorrow, but it also looks like it's not going to blow as hard as it did today. So I'm not going to put too much into the forecast because, Dave, as you know, the wind and the rain on the coast here in Great Britain and Northern Ireland can change, at the blink of an eye. I'm looking at this field, and what a great betting event. There are so many names on this list that would not surprise me to win the tournament this week. The list of guys goes on and on. I mean, it's great.
So let's talk about a few of them. The obvious choice, and he's at the top of the favorites board, is Rory McIlroy. It's home for him. He's got a great British Open history. If he can stop missing 4-foot putts, he seems to miss a couple of those every round. I mean, his iron play has been absolutely great the last several weeks. There's every reason to believe he's the favorite for a good reason. But the flip side of that is sometimes playing as kind of the home team is almost a distraction for some golfers. I mean, the expectations are so high, it can add to the pressure, and I wonder if that might be the case for Rory.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he's the 9-1 betting favorite in our market, and you look at his great Open form over the last 10 years, you look at his recent form, it's good. But at a single-digit price, with a field that has every good player on earth in it, I don't know if that's enough. And he doesn't, while he has won, he won in 2014, he won 3 starts ago. I don't know if he wins enough for me at 9-1. And like you mentioned, when the putter goes, it's gone with him. And again, I just think there are enough other betting options here. Although what I do find interesting, you could probably find even money on McIlroy to finish in the top 10. He seems to be a top 10 machine here. That's an interesting way to go with him.
Well, let's take a look at some of the others in this field. And I guess we got to begin with Brooks Koepka because he's got just such an incredible run going in the majors. He takes the minors off, so to speak. I think he just shows up to get practice, but he's going to be ready to play tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. He actually said it in the press conference that he doesn't practice and that he uses these, non-major events to get his reps in, so to speak. He's second choice on the board, 10-1, and this has been the least interest he has received in any major in terms of the betting. We've actually taken a few bets on him to finish in the top 10, both -150 and -160 today from guys we respect. He's played this tournament 5 times. He's got a couple of top 10s and 3, pretty nondescript performances. So, I don't really know what to expect out of him. Would it surprise me if he finished 50th? No. Would it surprise me if he wins by 5? No. Your guess is as good as mine in this one.
And Tiger Woods. He's in the field, so he's going to get action.
Well, sure. He's 20-1 on the board. And we win to him, not as much as we win to Rory and Brooks Koepka. And here's another guy. We're taking a lot of money on Justin Rose to finish ahead of Tiger Woods, and Tiger Woods to not finish in the top 20. So from a sharper perspective, Tiger Woods looks like a fade.
So let's talk about some of the guys that you might put some stock into, Jeff. Maybe priced in the favorites range or just outside of it. One thing we know is that if you're looking for somebody outside the top 50 to win a major, it hasn't happened in several years, and it probably won't happen here given the conditions.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, but I also would say there are plenty of guys in the 25 to 75 range that are very live to win this week. The guys I like the most, Henrik Stenson and Matt Kuchar. I took a 50-1 shot on both of these guys. Stenson is catching fire at the right time. 3 top 9s his last 3 starts. He really should have won the Scottish Open this past weekend, but he couldn't have put the ball into a lake standing on a raft. He missed 15 birdie putts inside of 12 feet in the 4 days, and he still shot 19 under. Best tee to green performance I've ever seen. I mean, he hit almost every green. And given his history at the Open, if he can right the putting ship, I don't see why he can't win this week. Another guy, Matt Kuchar, Keeps his ball flight low, which is generally helpful in the wind. He's been in incredible form all year. He led the Scottish Open last week after the first round and kind of cruised home to a top 20 finish without really threatening. Almost won here in 2017. I've bet on him in a few matchups. I don't see why he's not a threat to win this event. Anybody
on the in the triple-digit odds category you give a little shot to?
Yeah, I gave a go on Eddie Pepperell at 150-1. He's played this event twice. He finished 6th last year, and then in 2015 he was sitting 7th after Saturday, and he fell apart on Sunday.
Yep,
was probably in a little bit too far over his head with the guys on the leaderboard then, but he's been in pretty good form recently. Finished 4th at the Irish Open 2 weeks ago, 150-1. There's a lot of guys on this board between 75 and 150 that are far worse bets than Eddie Pepperell.
Make sure and follow Jeff Davis on Twitter at @_junkyard. He's the director of trading for Caesars Entertainment, and you'll be handling a big volume fight this weekend. We've got a good one in town. Pacquiao and Thurman, and I've mentioned this a few times this week. The opening number on Thurman, he was the favorite. He sure isn't anymore. The Manny money has been showing up, and I don't think that's surprising at all.
No, Thurman opened minus $1.40, and now we have Pacquiao minus $1.50. And we were kind of quick to move on this, knowing that all the public Pacquiao money is going to show the weekend of the fight. But in that there's sharp money on Pacquiao, too. We've been trying to stay ahead of it. We've had pretty much the worst or close to the worst number in town the whole way. We're pretty well inundated. We're more than doubled up on Pacquiao in money. We also took some sharp under money today, and I don't know if that's just due to how high the price is. It was plus 320 was the bet we took. We're down to plus 290. We're also going to put up the exact round props and the exact method of victory props. Those will be up probably in a few hours.
I don't have a strong opinion on the fight, but the one thing I've learned over the years is that when the odds makers basically say, here's some free money on something, I don't want that side. And to me, the opening line on this fight was either a terrible line or the odds makers have a pretty strong opinion that Pacquiao's ready to get beat, because this line guaranteed a flood of Pacquiao money. It's shown up. There's going to be more with what's coming to town this weekend. I got a feeling, you know what, I'm probably just going to do it just in terms of what I perceive as value. I think I'm going to end up on Thurman on Saturday.
It's interesting. Alan Berg, one of the guys in the office here that watches every fight, boxing and UFC there is, said to me he thought the fight should have been pick'em when it opened, and Thurman his record is great, but he really hasn't fought anyone yet. And Pacquiao's way past his best, but the hand speed really hasn't gone away. And when I asked him the other day, I said, at what number does Thurman become a bet? And he said if it gets to plus $1.60, he's surely going to bet Thurman because the number is getting out of control. And like you mentioned, given the flood of Pacquiao money that hasn't even arrived yet, I wouldn't be surprised if you can't take plus $1.50 or plus $1.60 somewhere on Saturday.
I'm probably going to wait till just before the fight and see what the best number is and maybe take a shot with it just on the value. You got to talk some dinner here because there's a lot of great things at Caesars Palace and the assorted Caesars Entertainment properties around town. What we know about the entertainment, it's superstar after superstar after superstar, but we haven't talked much about the restaurants, and you've got a beauty at Caesars Palace that you got to mention.
Yeah, I do, and we mentioned the shows. I just got to mention this quick because it just popped in. Keith Urban doing 2 shows at the Coliseum, September 6th and 7th. Tickets go on sale Friday morning at 10 a.m. They are not going to last. So if country music is your thing, I suggest getting on the horn on Friday morning. The restaurants are phenomenal at all of our properties. I don't talk enough about them. Went to Gordon Ramsay Steak Wednesday night last week with the girlfriend. It's at Paris, Las Vegas. The service was out of this world. We had appetizers. We had steaks. We had sides. We had desserts. Every single thing that was brought was top-notch. You have to get the mac and cheese, and you have to get the Brussels sprouts. That's all I'm going to say about that. Absolutely, it's a must-go. Food was phenomenal. Service was phenomenal.
Let's see if I'm any good at this. I'm going to say if you both went steak, I'm going to go, you went ribeye, she went filet.
I did go ribeye. I got a 24-ounce prime bone-in ribeye, cooked medium rare, because that's the only way to do it. She got a Wagyu rib cap, which is the outside of the ribeye, also outstanding. You pretty much hit the nail on the head, Dave.
50-50 is not too bad. All right. Great stuff. And again, we'll mention the mobile app because there's so much on the menu right now. And the beauty is you don't even have to have an account at Ceasars Entertainment to be able to use it. You can use it from anywhere. I was in Del Mar last week on vacation, and I'm looking at the lines. I obviously couldn't bet them from there, but that's the beauty of it. You don't even have to have the account. You can study all the numbers, and then when you're ready, get down there and open an account and enjoy sports betting the way it's meant to be played in 2019.
Well, absolutely, and having the app is so key because, back to the British Open, the handle in the British Open has been so far past what I could have expected, and I've spent all day chasing around props and matchups, and the only way you can see, all these matchup prices is open up the app. We've got, I don't know how many of them up, 50 of them, 60 of them, and, scroll through, take your time, look through them all, and, find the ones we have the best price on and, open an account and have a bet.
Always a pleasure, Jeff. Good luck with the Open.
All right, guys. Take care.
Jeff Davis, follow him on Twitter at @_junkyard. He's the director of trading at Ceasars Entertainment. Time for a quick MJ Christensen 4 at 4.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Put them fours up. Put the fours up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sportsline's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
An abridged version today because we got to get to a break, and then Wes Reynolds is going to come on. Dodgers and Phillies, Kenta Maeda. You might not expect it, but Kenta Maeda's got one of the best hard hit percentages in terms of it being low among all starting pitchers this year. Batters are not getting barrels against him. Pavetta's been awful for the Phillies. I think the Dodgers bounced back from last night's loss. Padres and Marlins, Chris Paddock on the mound for the Padres. They'll try and get back in the win column after getting thumped by the Marlins last night. Trevor Richards will go for Miami. He has not been good recently. A little too pricey for me to play San Diego, but I do think the Padres will win the game. Rays matching up with the Yankees. Yadi Chirinos has pitched really good ball for Tampa. The problem is, Esteban Herman has been very good for the Yankees, particularly at home. This is one of those games where, I am extremely reluctant, and you see it every day. You see this opinion validated. Extremely reluctant to play full game unders. If I think there's a good pitching matchup on tap, I'll go first 5 under. That's the way I'd look at this matchup between Chirinos and Herman because, I know the Rays have a bullpen that's usually okay. The Yankees' bullpen can be dominant at times, but you can't trust any bullpen this year. I think the starting pitching might be pretty good, so I would lean, and it's not a play for me, but it's a lean on the Rays and Yankees under the total. And the Blue Jays send Aaron Sanchez, who is absolutely awful, to the mound against the Red Sox tonight, and Eduardo Rodriguez, who rarely loses for Boston. They have a phenomenal record in his starts going back to the beginning of last season. Bad loss for the Red Sox last night. They've had a lot of them, and they're probably going to have a lot more. But this is a game they should put in the win column. Big price, but no recommendation here on the underdog. I might look to parlay the Red Sox with another big favorite if you can find one you like and maybe get the money with a cheap 2-0 on Big Chalk. That's it for the 4 at 4, brought to you by MJ Christensen Diamonds, located at Boca Park. We'll come back with our Joe's Angle of the Day and Wes Reynolds talking more Open Championship.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
Come into Finley Toyota for the largest selection of new, certified pre-owned and used vehicles to choose from. At Finley Toyota, we'll do anything to sell you a car.
We'll do anything to sell you a car.
I'm with Cliff Miller from MJ Christensen at Boca Park. Cliff, I'm an old guy. I got some old jewelry. Any ideas what I can do with it?
Oh, absolutely. One of our largest categories is custom design. My son Rusty does it all. And it's the most incredible thing to see styles that are 30, 40 years old that people haven't worn in years and see what he creates out of those diamonds, precious gems, and that metal. And you will be sparkling and feel top of the world when you leave MJ Christensen.
MJ Christensen, located at Boca Park.
Being a landlord can be a real hassle.
Tenants failing to pay rent or damaging your property can cost you big bucks. Thankfully, the law office of Edward D. Cania can assist you. Whether you need to evict your